Good. Thanks. So Kim, how are we doing here in the forum department?
Do have a forum, Chairman?
We do. Well, welcome, everybody. Appreciate you all joining us. There are three of us here present and members of the board present, and then there's another group that's on the video. So our first action item is the monthly meeting minutes of the previous meeting. That's March 13th. That material was submitted to you as part of the packet in advance. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing or seeing none, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
It's been moved. We'll count that as a second, Jesse. And any other comments or questions again? So hearing none, then the minutes will stand approved. Thank you. Phase 2 requisition. Kim, do you want to start on that? Kim Jones?
Yep. So the payments for March were to 100 Carson Road, totaling $6,649.08. Bond Shonik and King, totaling $3,967.50. Payment to CNC Miraculous Cleaning Services for $600. Payment to Casco Security Systems for $453.28. Payment to D. Pasquale Construction LLC for $2,566.68. A payment to Frontier for $3603. Payment to Occasional Elegance LLC for $14,578.98. A payment to Savin Engineers PC for $93.95. Payment to Trinity Ventures Engineering PLLC for $14,100. And lastly, a payment to U.S. Bank for $950. Oh, I'm sorry, not lastly, payment to U.S. Bank for $950. And lastly, a payment to Watts Architecture and Engineering for $20,590.13. Total payments total $64,585.63. Any questions?
Well, a couple things on the list there that might bear a little bit of explanation. The Di Pasquale payment, that's long due. It has to do with some parts that were ordered for finishing out part of the work. And they were delayed in delivery and they finally have arrived. We can use them, but they're being paid for now because the invoice was received now. Really part of the construction of that project earlier. What school was that? School 4, right. The $93 to Savin is just closing out that contract completely. And that happens to be the amount, the amount left over. And the last item that's a little new is the U.S. Bank payment. That is part of the fees that we're required to pay. U.S. Bank is the custodian that holds the proceeds from the bonds. And so there's a fee associated with that process, and we're paying it now. I think that's it with respect to the items that are at least unique to this month. Any questions or comments about the rest of it or any part of it? Okay, hearing or seeing none, then we'll accept that as a motion from the committee to approve the disbursements. Is there a second? Second. It's been seconded.
Second. Yep. I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Hearing or seeing none, then all those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. Takes care of the action items we have. The next item is our fund balance, which, records all of the various funds we have and what the status is. So Kim Mitchell, you want to walk us through that?
Sure. The overall fund balance starts with East High School with $159,397. represents the balance of the Canon payment. District-wide technology 2B, the total of $4,040,042. This was decreased by the payments from the last pay requisition. Forbes School 4 has $20,590. That's unchanged from last month. Settlement from the Attorney General is $330,648, again, unchanged from last month. The CPL E&O settlement is $205,421, unchanged from last month. And then the Canon settlement of $200,000, which is the final settlement amount that will be put back into the bond fund. We move down, the RCSD loan balance has actually increased to $1,191,683 with the $925,000 loan that was added to the account. Open contract balances for Bond Shonik and King. We have $8,070.99. The previous program manager, Savin Engineers, with a balance of $93.95. The Canon Design Architect, until that is paid, that open balance is $159,296.97. Going down to the pay requisitions. The current pay requisition for Bond Shonik and King is $3,967.50, leaving a balance of $4,103.49. De Pasquale Construction for $2,566.68. That leaves a balance at School 4 of $18,022.90. Savin Engineers, $93.95, which clears out that contract. And the US Bank fees of $900. That is going to be an ongoing expense. Total $7,578.13 from the bond fund. From the loan fund, Trinity Ventures Engineering, PLLC for $14,100. Occasional Elegance LLC, DBA Ujuzi for $14,578.98. Watts Engineering for $20,590.13. 100 Carlson Road, Rent and Utilities, $6,649.08. CNC Miraculous Cleaning for $600. Casco Security Systems for $453.28. Frontier Communications for $36.03, for a total from the RCSD loan fund of $57,007.50. That leaves a balance in the RJSCB fund of $330,648. The program bond funds of $5,012,351. Settlement funds of $405,421, totaling $5,748,420, and the RCSD loan balance of $1,134,675.
The one item that's in here that I can't remember whether it was reported on at the last meeting, but you will remember that at the last meeting, we did make a request for additional funding to keep us going with respect to the Watts Engineering project for the preparation of the plan. That was approved by the school district, and that's why that number has been increased. That was the amount that that Kim was referring to. Other than that, the items that are on here are simply are the same kind of items we've been dealing with all along. Any questions or comments? Hearing or seeing none, then that moves us into, completes the items that are remaining with respect to phase 2, moves us into phase 3, where we just have some things to report. The comprehensive plan status, there was a document in the material that was distributed to you in advance from Watts Engineering that gives the report on where they are. They'll be meeting again this Wednesday to try to wrap up that first. Then, and also we're now working on what exactly we will do with respect to the second step that's funded by the recent appropriation from the district. Roughly speaking, they'll be doing work with respect to some of the environmental issues that need to be done in any case, and with respect to the projects that seem clear, more detailed construction financing. The real thing to report is where we are with respect to the RFP for, for the program manager, because we're now moving along at a pace here, and hope to have some action before long. Kim, do we have something we can show them with respect to the schedule? Yeah, I'm talking about the schedule of when things are due, for the program manager.
The RFP is due on April 19th.
Right.
So this is the,
Oh, here we go. So this is from the RFP itself, and it shows you when things are done. We've had two questions, and Jesse will address that in a minute. And it shows you that the 19th is when things are due. I'm now talking about the schedule for our internal meetings here so that we can get ready to make a recommendation with respect to the process. Those meetings are when, Kim? Do we have a schedule of those?
right now it's just the 25th.
The April 25th.
25th at 10:30.
Yeah, April 25th. And that's the meeting to review what we received. We don't anticipate that there's going to be a lot of screening involved. If you have a lot of proposals, then you have to see if there's a preliminary screening. I don't think that's going to be the case. So we'll be in a situation to meet on that date and do a couple of things that prepare for the process. One of those things, which we invite everybody's participation in, is we've got a preliminary proposal with respect to the criteria that are going to be used, and all that you've seen, but also one that has some values assigned to it, so that you can make a judgment with respect to the relative values. We're going to send that out to you because I don't think we've done it to everyone, have we, Kim?
Just the committee so far.
Just the committee so far. So the committee itself has received it. By committee, I mean the group that's handling the selection process here. And we're going to ask you to if you have any comments on the way that's evaluated, to please get it back to us. We'll set a date for you to do that so that that's going to be finalized on that meeting of the 15th. In terms of the process for selection, what we're required to do, just to refresh everybody's recollection here, we as a board are required to make a recommendation with respect to the hiring here. So what would happen internally is the committee will go through the process of reviewing the proposals, doing the interviews, and coming up with a proposal. The board will react to that and then vote. Then it will go to both the district and to the city. Probably the order of that will be district and then city, since the district is most involved in it in the beginning. They will have their own process, although I've spoken to the superintendent and he's satisfied that, at least with respect to the preliminary review, his representatives on the committee, on the board here, would be appropriate people to do that. And they happen to be the kind of people who would be doing it in any case for the district, financially and with respect to operations. Then the superintendent will make a decision as to whether or not, along with his whatever advice he solicits, to make a recommendation to the board of the district, and then the board will vote on it. The same process essentially will go on with the city, where I've spoken to the mayor. He's satisfied that his representatives in the board are appropriate in terms of who would review this for them. But it'll go to them as a recommendation. He'll solicit whatever advice he wants and then present it as he would present a contract to the city council, who will vote on it. Exactly how the scheduling of that will work, we'll have to get it, we'll have to see. But what we need to do is stick to our own schedule here so that we can get this process wrapped up and moving through the rest of the process. The other meetings that we have, though, with respect to this, Kim, are what?
Vice Chair races. Just have that 1, 2. And then
Okay.
the interviews.
Yeah, so we do have, well, no, we've got more than that. We've got interviews scheduled. That's what I was getting at.
Right, the May 3rd.
Right. So that means we're going to be finished. The essence of this is we will be finished by here at this board by the 15th. That's listed there as a special board meeting. That may or may not happen in that regard, depending on how well we move through the process. But look, folks, if we get to the point where we haven't been able, for some reason, to meet the regular board meeting schedule, and we're ready to go, we need to go. We need to call a special meeting, because I don't want a month to go by here just waiting for the regular schedule to occur. I'm sorry, who has their hand up here, Kim?
Vice Chair.
Oh, Mike, yeah.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Tom, just a quick question, maybe you and Kim recall. So I will put a placeholder in for our May 25th Board of Education business meeting. And that would get us in alignment with a city council meeting in June, whenever that is. I think it's like the 21st, probably something like that. Is there materials other than is there a packet of materials that we provided for the Board of Education when we selected the phase 2 program manager, so that, if we actually meet on the 15th, we can give them materials to review prior to the 25th business meeting?
Did they participate in the selection?
Thinking they did. I will.
Well, look, Mike, it's a little unclear as to how that was worked out, but good point. We'll find it if it's there.
It can be anything, right? At least an overview, whatever the maybe it's the rubric, how he scored them, something along those lines, so we can give our Board of Education some information to at least review, and then I'll get a resolution, and we can mirror the phase 2 resolution or whatever that would work out to be. And then maybe I'll work with my friend Rich in terms of, or Kim, and getting it on the city council agenda for June. I know some of these deadlines are coming up to get things on.
Yeah. So Mike, we won't be able to make June city council, just based on what our deadlines are. City council revised it this year. And so there is a very, very long lead time. So we have been saying, since we looked at that, given the schedule for this, it would go to our July 18th city council meeting.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just because the day we meet on the 25th is when we would have to do the agenda review for the June meeting.
There is, Mike, one other reason for that period of time.
Yeah.
Unlike most of the other things here where the district is the most involved, actually, with respect to an important part of this, the city will be involved, because our hiring, our proposal with the program manager is going to have to be accompanied by the request for the funding,
Okay,
which would be tens of millions of dollars, with respect to a
right.
revenue anticipation. But so it's a big deal, is what I'm getting at.
Right, so we're
Yeah.
not losing a month by doing that. In a sense, we would need that to get prepared anyway. Okay,
We'd have to do it no matter what, yeah. But it's important to realize it's important for them to hear it.
with that in mind, if we're going to hit our Board of Education June meeting, that's June 27th. So there probably isn't any need to rush it for the 25th of May. If it's put all the materials together, then we can have it all for them for the June meeting.
One thing that I forgot to committee that has been going through the process of preparing the RFP and answering the questions and doing the things that we can talk about in a minute. But it's fairly large in the sense that there are representatives from both the city and the district. And there are what, 4 members? Or 4? Is that it?
Rich. Who's supporting this? Myself, Ron, Rich.
Yes, yeah.
And you? No, you counted yourself.
Counted myself.
Okay.
It made
Oh, Mike,
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 Sorry, Mike.
I'm sorry, Mike. We didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but the,
No, it's okay. I have low self-esteem. You guys just keep running over me like I'm not even here. I get it. It's okay.
all right. So we'll, anyway, what I'm gonna suggest is that anyone on the board who wants to participate directly in the process, for instance, who is more than welcome. So as soon as we get this schedule finalized, we invite you to participate along the way in any way you feel you're comfortable doing and can afford it. It would be good for us if you do, because it'll simplify the matter in terms of reporting and dealing with it. And you know, there are not that many members of the board who aren't already involved in the committee, is where I was going with this. So and since we don't expect, we only know of 2 potential proposals right now. So we're not talking about a huge commitment like we might be talking about, or, you know, where there are 5 or 6 proposals. So we'll get all that publicly distributed to you, and you'll get the information. But I really encourage you to actually participate. I think it'll be better for the process if we do. We'll let the committee be the boss here, in other words, they'll drive the schedule, they'll drive the ingredients that need to be put together, but everybody else is encouraged to participate. Well, so that on the part we've talked about now, if you have any, we're going to send you tomorrow the criterion and the allocations with respect to percentages to the criteria, and then ask you to comment on it. This is everybody on the board now. And would you please get that back to us by the first meeting we've scheduled to deal with it, which is on the 15th. I'm sorry. Can't hear you. April 25th, right? And we'll put that in the packet that you get.
So we will need it back by the 19th, before the 19th, so that would be.
Okay. So we'll put all that in the packet and get it to you tomorrow. Maybe Jesse, you could give us a little briefing on what we've received and what we've dealt with.
Well, we've received a couple.
Why don't you pull that microphone over close to?
We received three or four questions. Kim, are you able to put the questions up on the screen?
You had it there.
I have to share.
There we go.
These are the questions that we received. These questions were shared, these questions and answers initially were shared with the committee for their input in terms of how we answered the questions. And Rich had some responses, even some minor tweaks that he felt would be beneficial to be in there in the answers. I don't know if well, I'll go through each one. We only have a couple. The first question we received was, the RFP states the respondent must submit the names and descriptions of their consultants and professional firms to be assigned to phase 3, excluding vendors for the alternates. Do you anticipate only the identification of the second tier sub-consultants on the PM team, including the EBEs that would help the PM meet the diversity goals? RJSCB anticipates only, the answer is, the RJSCB anticipates only the identification of the second tier sub-consultants to the PM team at this time, including the EBEs that would help the PM meet the diversity goals. Second question was a requirement. This was basically a typo issue in the RFP. Requirements format, page 24, please confirm questions 14 and 15 should be combined into a single item, and subsequent questions would be renumbered 15 to 22. And basically that's also the answer to the question. The next question was, will the RJSCB allow an EBE MWDSBE consultant to the PM also provide similar professional services to an eventual architect, engineer, or construction manager? Please confirm it will not be perceived as a conflict of interest. ASCB will not allow an EBE consultant to the PM to also provide similar professional services to an eventual AE or CM. Third question. All right. Go back down a little, Kim. Oh, that was the answer. I'm sorry. Okay. In section 13, submission information and requirements, it appears item 14. I can't see that. What is that? And 15 are part of the same required tab addressing how firms will ensure the maximum amount of construction is gained from the $475 million in bonding provided by the enabling legislation. I'm sorry. Can RJSCB confirm this is intended to be contained in one tab? Response, and if so, should proposers keep the subsequent numbering for each tab section as listed, e.g. tab 14 followed by 16, 17, etc.? Please see the answer above. That the answer previous was the answer to that particular one. Okay. Next question was, wait a minute, where am I? Okay, item 23 in section 13, submission information and requirements requests assigned sexual harassment prevention certificate form. This form was not provided in their RFP package. Can RJSCB provide? Please see, answer is, please see attached sexual harassment prevention certificate form from the New York State Office of the Prevention of Domestic Violence. This form can be completed or serve as the basis for a statement of an adopted policy by the proposal for inclusion in a submission to this RFP. Next question. Section 30, proposal and fees include a fee submittal form, Appendix A, Appendix B, and Appendix C. These 4 items are not referenced in section 13, submission information and requirements. Does the RJSCB want them included in the submittal package? And if so, please clarify in which section they should be included. Answer, the RJSCB would like the fee submittal form, Appendix A, Appendix B, Appendix C included in the submittal package in the appendix section. And next question was, does RJSCB currently have set requirements for MBE, WBE, DBE, and/or SBE participation for the program manager team? The answer is the current minimum requirements for MBE, WBE, DBE, and SBE for the program manager team are as follows. MBE 17%, WBE 10%, DBE 3%, SBE 3%. And those were the questions, and those are the answers that were provided to the respondents. And it is up on the City School District's website.
We received questions from 2 potential bidders.
Right.
That doesn't mean we wouldn't get more. You don't have to submit a question, but we'll know that on the 19th. Hopefully at least these 2 stick with us and submit a proposal on the 19th. Both of them are at least apparently credible. They are substantial organizations and credible in terms of the capacity to do it. Whether that comes through their proposal or not, that's another matter, but it's a good start, I think, in the sense that they are credible participants.
Also, Kim did send out an email to committee members about how they want the proposals delivered to them and where. And hopefully everyone will get back to Kim, giving her the information on how they want it. Because we get it on the 19th, and then we need to meet on the 25th. And we're trying to make sure that all of the committee members have ample time enough to review. Just in case we end up with more than the 2 that we have.
Yeah.
So please make sure you respond to Kim's email.
Actually, in light of what I said earlier about people participating, maybe we ought to invite all the members, if they want to participate in that review process. So at the same time, when we'll go to everybody and let you know. So if, for instance, if anybody who's not on the committee wants to see the proposals before the meeting, we'll arrange to do that.
Ed Hurahan says if they can be delivered to your homes, if that's what you.
Yeah, they can be delivered to your home, right? So
Yes, I think we get 11 copies, but if we need to we'll get them delivered to everybody's house ASAP that day.
good.
Kim, for me, hold mine here, because I won't get back in town until late Sunday, and I'll just pick it up that Monday morning.
Jesse, the guy who steals that off your porch is going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring it back.
But so be it. That I believe concludes let me say one thing about these goals that were here. One of the and we did also have the attorneys review these answers, not just the committee members. It's possible that these goals will change as we get to the point of hiring an independent compliance officer, and also as we review the local circumstances and what's possible. But there's a sort of a sequence here that makes it impossible to fix those numbers now. The statute requires that the project manager participate along with the independent compliance officer in the development of the program for the MBE program, including the development of the goals. The idea that behind that participation by the project manager, they want to get them signed on to it, because they're going to have considerable responsibility for making sure that we hit them. So there's as there is all the way through this entire project, there's a issue of what goes first. And we really got to get the project manager in here to get serious about this so that we can deal with the numbers. The only people that would potentially propose a little issue with would be the project manager, because there would be no other contracts let by then. So it's not, it's a manageable set of circumstances. I'm going to offer I don't have any other items to present to the board, but I'll offer the opportunity today to have a executive session if anybody wants one. The reason I propose it at this particular time, as Kim has pointed out to me, is if there's something about the project manager selection process that we wouldn't want to do publicly because of the pending contract negotiations, we should discuss that in executive session. I'm unaware of any such thing, but if anybody has something like that they want to talk about, we'd be happy to go into executive session to do it. Any requests for that by the board? Hearing or seeing none, then, and other items that anyone would like to present? Again?
Tom, I just wanted to mention that we talked about having a work session with City Council
Right.
in May. So I just want I want us to start thinking about, what we're going to present to council. I think they're just basically looking for, an update on where we stand with phase 3. And that might be a good time, kind of to talk about where we are easing into, the request for the RAN as well. So just something to think about.
Do you have a
thanks,
date
Kim.
or some tentative dates for this by any chance, Kim?
I don't have any dates right now, but I know we talked about sometime in May. I know we have a lot going on here
Right.
in May, so it's something we'd have to discuss. I mean, we may have to ease into June with it.
Yeah, we
We
present
got
our
it.
budget, right? June 15th or something like that.
The idea was to, I'm glad you brought it up, Kim, I forgot about it. The idea was to bring the council up to speed in general about what's happening here, what's going to be expected of them, and what's going to be expected generally, because unlike the Board of Education, they have not been involved in this. So they wouldn't necessarily know, what's coming. Yeah. Kim, work with the mayor's office or whoever you have to work with to schedule this?
Yeah, we can actually do that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Other items? Okay, folks, away we go. Away we go.
Nice job, Tom.
Yeah.
Seeing or
Thanks,
hearing us.
everyone.
Thank you, folks. We're stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
I gotta get these dates straight in my head, Kim. I've got them botched up. But